Upon a time in a kingdom far, far away, there lived a king. The king had two sons. The elder one was quite handsome with tousled brown hair, curly and long. The younger one was also quite good-looking with hair as black as coal. Now, one day the king summoned his elder son. "My son," he said, "you are all grown up, and it's time for you to get married. A prince of our stature must produce an heir to carry on our bloodline." The elder son nodded his head in agreement, and soon after, a grand wedding was arranged for him. On the day of the wedding, the king gifted his son a comb made out of pure gold. "Use this every day," the king said, "and never let it leave your hand. It will ensure the growth of your hair." The young prince thanked his father and took the golden comb with him to his chambers. Every day he would comb his hair with the golden comb, but he noticed that his hair did not grow longer than before. One day, in frustration, he threw the comb out of the window. To his surprise, the comb landed on the head of a young man who was sweeping the courtyard outside. The young man looked up and saw the comb dangling from his broom. He took it off and wiped the dust off, only to realize it was made of pure gold. He ran inside the palace and entered the king's court. "Your Majesty," he said, bowing before the king, "this comb fell from the window of the prince's chambers. I found it lying in my courtyard." The king was furious. "How dare you touch the royal comb? You may have to pay for that with your life." The young man was scared, but he stood his ground. "I am not a coward, Your Majesty. I only wanted to return the comb you dropped. I don't want any reward for it." The king was surprised by the young man's bravery, and instantly his anger disappeared. "You have shown great courage, young man. Tell me, how would you like to be rewarded?" The young man thought for a moment. "I don't want any gold or jewels, Your Majesty. I only want your son to become my sworn brother." The king and his son were taken aback by the request, but they agreed to it. After all, an agreement is an agreement. And soon the young man and the elder prince were sworn brothers. But the elder prince was jealous of his brother-in-law's curly black hair. Every day he tried to make his hair look like his brother's, but it was no use. One day in frustration, he threw the golden comb out of the window again. This time it landed on the head of a young woman who was washing clothes by the river. She took the comb and started braiding her hair with it. Soon the woman came to the palace to return the comb. Again the king got angry, but the woman stood her ground and said, "Your Majesty, I found this comb by the river. It probably fell out of the prince's window. I don't want any reward for returning it, but I do have a request." The king, "And what is that?" The woman said, "I want your son to marry me." The king was furious. "You dare ask for the hand of my son? Do you know who he is?" "He is the crown prince." The woman said, "Of course I know who he is, Your Majesty. That's why I asked for his hand in marriage, so that he could make me the princess, and I could become the first woman in the kingdom to wear the royal comb." The king thought for a moment. After all, an agreement is an agreement. And soon the woman became the princess, but she never wore the golden comb. Instead, she gifted it to her maidservant. And that's how the comb made its way back to the river where it belonged. Now, do you know what the moral of the story is? Even your worst opponent does not equal an enemy. Your enemy is the one who tries to harm you without any reason. An opponent, on the other hand, is one who competes with you, who challenges you, who sometimes even tries to defeat you, but they do it because they, too, want to win. They are not trying to harm you. They just want to beat you at your own game. So never consider your opponents as your enemies. Compete with them, learn from them, and defeat them fair and square. Only then will you truly be a winner.